Hey guys, today I wanted to do a video all about primers for your skin. Typically they're worn before foundation. It kind of caused some confusion because there's so many different types of primer. It's not really like a black and a white thing, like it does this or it does that. There's just so many different types, and I wanted to kind of show you some of my favorites and explain to you the differences. The thing with primers is that there are so many different types now. It's not just a colorless liquid that you apply before your foundation that you feel you have to. Don't get caught up on that thinking, I have to use a primer. Use a primer because you're doing it for a specific purpose. There's so many different types out there. There's mattifying ones, there's brightening ones, bronzing ones, ones that keep your makeup on longer, ones that have added SPF. You know, don't just slap one on because you feel like you have to. You know, use one that you like the results of, obviously, but one that is targeted toward different things that you want out of your makeup. For example, I normally use foundations that don't have any shimmer to them. I don't like any of those that look incredibly dewy with finish. I really like ones that are kind of a more natural to matte finish. I'll add like a light infusing primer to it that makes it look better. So, you know, you can really get more out of the products that you use if they really do serve a purpose. So I'm going to kind of explain to you some different ones. These are just ones that I have, ones that I like. So I guess the whole point of this video is just to let you know that there's so many different types and they do so many different things. So most people think that primer is, like I said, you put it on before foundation. It just kind of applies a base for your foundation. It helps everything kind of go on smoother and everything. And obviously I'm not going to talk about every single one, but I'm going to talk about some that are my favorites that I really enjoy. In my everyday life, I like to use as little product as possible on my face. So typically in the morning when I get out of the shower, I'll use my Origins Vitazing Moisturizer, which has a bit of tint to it. And then I'll use my foundation when I decide to do my makeup later on. But primer can be a very good thing, and I've kind of gotten back into using it, and I like it. It's just that I'm lazy and don't always want to take that extra step. And I also mentioned it in my winter skin routine, or my foundation routine, that if you apply it, if you have a little bit of dry skin, not that it's going to fix the problem by any means, but you definitely need to moisturize and have a good skincare regimen for that anyways. But in the wintertime, you know, your skin sometimes feels a little dry, it feels a little flaky, it feels a little tighter. And if you apply that primer on first, your foundation, which is actually your tinted product, is going to apply more smoothly and look a lot better. So there's a lot of different kinds. These are my favorites. My all-time favorite for me personally is the MAC Prep and Prime, the SPF 50. Now I used to use the original one because 50 is a very scary number when you're talking SPF. Not that it's bad or anything, but it's just a very high number. And I like this just because it holds up really, really well on my oily skin. I find that it makes my makeup last a lot longer when I use this. And I just really like the consistency of it. It's very good for oily skin. A lot of people will tell you otherwise, that the one that feels a little lighter is better, but I find that that holds up much, much better after years of great results with that. That is much better for oily skin. A lot of people have an issue with SPF, with photography and stuff. In your everyday life, it is not going to make a bit of difference. If you're going to like a professional photo shoot where you're going to be photographed under a lot of lights, or to a wedding or something, you may want to not wear something with a lot of SPF. It can make the light bounce off your face, kind of funny. No big deal. It's fine. Don't be afraid of SPF. So I love that, and it's colorless. It's white, but it just goes on like nothing. Another one that's my favorite that I love is this Tarina Tarantino, the Pearl Glow Primer. I've really always liked this. I like to mix it in with my foundation. And because I like that so much, I tried this drugstore product, the L'Oreal Magic Lumi Light Infusing Primer. When I apply this before my foundation and then apply my foundation, I really don't notice much of a difference. But when I actually mix it in with my foundation, like I like to do with this, it works just as well. So maybe you could save some money and buy this. It's really, really good, and you can get that at the drugstore. What's funny about both of those is that they don't feel incredibly silicone-y. That's something I personally don't like. I don't like the product to feel really slippery on my skin, because products with silicone, while they're not technically greasy, they have that slippery feeling. And one of those that is very slippery and silicone-y is the Smashbox Photo Finish, which this is just a small size. I got this out of my kit a minute ago just to show you, because I like to keep smaller, you know, it's easier to travel with and stuff. but this is absolutely amazing when I'm working on other people. It really smooths out the skin and the makeup goes on really, really smooth. So I really like that, although personally I don't like the feeling of that on my face. The Makeup Forever HD Primer is also another really good option. This is again a really small one. I might purchase that for myself and try it sometime because I really like that when I run out of something else. It is similar to Smashbox, but kind of more clean feeling. I think would be better if you had oilier skin. And they also make the matte, the Makeup Forever has a matte primer, which I used to use on myself a long time ago, and I liked it, but never found that it was phenomenal results on holding up against oily skin. I felt like it was exactly the same as the HD. So I'd say go for the HD. Another product that I really have enjoyed that I've been using a lot lately on myself is the Too Faced Primed and Poreless, and I believe there is one that has a bronze tint to it. This is just the original one, and it does look a little scary because this one has a bit of a tint to it, but when you put it on your skin you can't see it. It looks very fair, so if you had darker skin you'd be like, oh goodness gracious, but it doesn't really transfer color. It feels slippery, which is usually something that I wouldn't like. It reminds me kind of the Smashbox. It feels very silicone-y. But I actually like it, and I find that while I kind of cringe when I'm putting it on because I don't like the feeling of it, it makes my makeup look really good. And then this is a product that doesn't feel like a typical slippery primer at all. It's by Benefit. It's called That Gal Brightening Face Primer. And a lot of Benefit products, I hate to say, are kind of gimmicky. They look gimmicky. You wonder, are they really that great? But I've always really liked this. I remember on our wedding day I actually wore this. I was really into this at the time. It was, I think it had just kind of came out before that. But I bought a new one not too long ago and I need to use it more. It's this one. But it's pink. It feels really clean when you put it on your skin, so I like that. And it smells like bubble gum. Kind of like bubble gum. It's kind of fun. But what I like about it is it feels really clean. It feels almost squeaky clean. But your makeup goes on great over it and it just makes your skin look good. So those are kind of my standouts. A couple more from MAC that aren't typical primers. These are the Skin Enhancer, the Fortified Skin Enhancer Illuminator. This one is Adjust. This one's Neutralize. I also have the pink one in my drawer. But these are products that you can apply before your foundation, much like a primer, that has like a corrective element to them. It's almost like a concealer, but it's not really heavy, so they're actually light enough where you can put them on before your foundation and then it smooths your skin out. There's another couple of products that are good. I should have gotten this out. My drawer that I keep my primers in. Underneath the one that I'm propping my camera up on. You can use a mattifying gel, or if you're very oily, or a product that kind of fills in pores and lines, which a lot of times a mattifying gel will make your skin look very matte, thus kind of hiding your pores. And two that I really like, I think MAC still sells this. If they don't, I'll be sad because I really like it. It's the Line Filler Base. And I think it has, this is crazy stuff. Like you can put it on your pores or put it on any areas where you have like lines. And you should do this like before your foundation. And you dab it on and it creates it's just insane looking. I mean, you can't see it even if I showed you under the best of circumstances. But yeah, like I can see it. Not on camera, but you can totally tell a huge difference. It sort of like totally mattes out your skin, but it just makes it look totally smooth. Like no lines, no pores, nothing. So that would be good to apply before foundation, like a primer. Probably not all over your face though. That'd be a little much. Urban Decay also makes a product similar. This is the D-Slick in a tube. And what's cool about this is that you can apply it before your foundation. And it does the same thing. It looks like a very like, I guess it doesn't make sense, but like a chalky gel. It looks very opaque. And then when you put it on and rub it in, it dries to that same kind of dry finish. So be careful. You really want to use this just in areas that get oily. So I feel like there's so many different products that you can use before foundation that gives you different results that can act as your primer. But as far as like what will work for you, I would say to go with a product like the Makeup Forever HD or something similar that doesn't have a color to it. This L'Oreal Magic Lumi is really cool because it's kind of light infusing and it would go with any skin tone. Or the Too Faced Primed and Poreless, just something like that that's just something cheap that you can find that you could kind of test out to see if you even like a primer, because you don't want to spend a lot on one and then be like, nah, it's not for me. I guess you could always return it, but it's just funny because there's just so many products that you can use. Don't use a primer just because you think that you have to. Target it toward your skin type, like I said, and I hope that my recommendations and the explanations as to what they do kind of helped a little bit. So I hope that y'all are having a great week, and I will talk to you all very soon. Bye!